much exactly like the other one, a little bit different. Okay, so what I've got to redo here is I got to redo this whole pad, because I wasn't really considering when I did this the first time that the front door would be facing the woods, and we want it to face down by the driveway. So I'm just going to cut out, starting over here, straight back, and that way I got to go 40 feet. That way the house will face that direction instead of this direction. And I got a 279 this time. It's supposed to be better at digging than the 259. The 279 has a radial lift instead of a vertical lift. So I'll see how that does. No, that's okay. Okay. Okay, now let's do a cross this way. So you can see. Yeah, I know I'm not there yet, but I want to get an idea. Go
that big? Is that how big the cabin is?
Okay, so I gotta build this up then right here. Because I gotta be 16 feet. Okay, so I've got to do some more work to the pad for the cabin, but I'm going to take a little break and work on this section right here. This is going to be where Dale's cabin goes. He's doing a little tiny home, like 10 by 24. So I'm going to clear this spot here. Okay, so this is the next day. I'm getting started over here. I marked this off with green paint to kind of show the general outline. It's 40 by 16. This isn't exactly the shape I want. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to redo this paint. It's still kind of sort of facing the woods. It really needs to be like that, kind of in between the skid steer and the truck. So what I'm going to need to do, I may have to get rid of this tree. I didn't really want to get rid of that tree, but I may have to. I've got all the roots exposed anyway, but what I need to do is I need to cut that and go more towards into the embankment, and then build up this area over here. Need to build this all up more. This was just a straight hill right here, a drop off, and all this dirt is what I dug up and moved. So I just need to keep doing that and trying to build up this side. That way I can face more that direction. I think that's kind of what I want to do. Besides that, the only other thing I need to do is I need to dig and flatten out another pad for the shed that's coming too. The shed is going to be where we put the washer and dryer. So I think I'm going to put it right there. If I put it right there, I got to move some of those trees though. So I probably will move at least some of those small ones and then flatten that out. The other idea was to put it in the back there, but I don't really want it to be that far away. Plus you'd have to, the cabin does not have a back door. Now I could add a back door, but I think I'm just going to put it up here, right around this area here somewhere. I did not film this over here. Let me go show this. I've just kind of come over here and just done a little bit at a time on this section over here. This is the area for the animals. There's the duck pond. So I needed a place for the barn. So I'm going to build a ramp or steps or something to go down into the aviary up to the barn, which is going to be up here. I made this big flat spot. I've just kind of come over and worked on this a little bit each time I've been over here, but I haven't spent like a long time over here so on this section, so I didn't want to set up cameras. But this is where the barn will go. So I flattened all this out, kind of built up the sides, and then I got to this thing, this big rock, and it will not budge. I've dug around it, I've done everything. I can't get it out of the ground, so I think I'm either going to leave it or I'm going to have to rent a hammer to attach to that skid steer. Whatever I end up doing, it's a big rock, so it's going to take quite a bit of work to get it out of there. But anyway, this is where the barn goes, and you can see right over there is where the cabin is, so I'll have a trail through the woods. And then back down the hill, all of this will be under netting, even these trees. The aviary is 30 feet tall. The guy in Washington State that's making it for us, that's what they specialize in. So the netting will start just in front of the skid steer there, and it'll go 70 feet across, just past the pond, then up behind the pond, up into the woods. These trees will be in the aviary, and then it will go behind the barn and then back down. So it's 70 feet square by 30 feet high. And I think how we're gonna hang it is with telephone poles or something equivalent. They'll just be like 4 posts, and we use aircraft cable with pulleys to pull it up each corner. I was going to put something in the middle too, like almost like a circus tent, and push up on the top, but I think we're just going to let it be the way it's designed. So anyway, I'm going to get started on this pad. All right, I think I'm kind of done for today. I got a lot done, a lot more than I thought I was going to get done. I still am going to have to add a little bit more on this very front end. Every time I get a good amount on there and spread it, it gets compacted, which is going to happen obviously with that heavy piece of machinery. So the very, very front here is really good, but right through there is kind of going down, so I need to bring that up a little bit more. But now that I have this big section sticking out here, now I can actually go in here sideways like I want. So before it was like this, and now I've got it going diagonal. So that's the way I wanted it. And I want to get it as flat as possible because I don't want to have the thing up crazy high on bricks. So here's the infamous rock that's on the pad. I have been trying to dig this up since the last time when I rented the first skid steer, and it must go really deep because I can't get it to even move a little bit. So very similar to the rock over there by the barn. So anyway, when I come back tomorrow or the next day, I will build this up a little bit more. Also, this pad I made for the shed is a little bit high in the back and a little low in the front, so I need to dig that out a little bit more, and probably whatever I dig out of there I'll put right there and then get that up higher. But that's about it. It's 8 by 12 is the shed, so I'm pretty close on size. I need to measure it, but that's getting close anyway. And I've got a lot of rocks that I've dug up, which is really good because I'm going to use that for retaining walls, and also I'm going to use that around the koi pond. I may put one big one in the middle or something, like a little island. But I have got a lot of rock here, so I'm happy about that. And there's still rock out in the woods and stuff too, so I'm happy I have all this rock because now I won't have to go find some to decorate my pond. All right, well, until tomorrow.